I'm the CHALL, your Doncaster Rovers channel, and welcome to today's edition of the DRFC Daily Reports. Now, today we're going to be talking about why John-Jules is the right fit for Doncaster Rovers and why Donny Rovers is the right fit for Tyreece John-Jules at this time due to a free press report. And we're going to look at another free press report which states we haven't seen the best yet of Taylor Richards, especially this early on. Now, before we get started, I want to show you guys something. I don't know if you've seen it. Look at that. Brand new away kit. So yeah, brand new away kit. Just got it today, and that's because, hang on, I love doing this live. Still got the home kit, still got it, and that'll be in the wash while I wear the away kit. Got the scarf still, so I'm still wearing that. I got this at the, for those of you who are new to the channel and don't know where I got this, this was the scarf that I wore as a kid when Doncaster played Huddersfield in the first game at the Keepmoat. So, very important scarf, very important home shirt, and a brand new away shirt to go with it. So, I thought I'd share that. I'll be wearing this, don't you worry, I'll be wearing this, all the home kit for Saturday's game against Bristol Rovers, watching it from home, and also something very, very exciting coming next week, which I cannot wait to talk to you guys about. I can't wait to reveal what it is. So I'll be releasing a video next week, which is very exciting video. It's going to be another it's probably going to be another hour-long video next week, so stay tuned for that one. And you guys are going to absolutely love it. You're going to be questioning in the comments like, how did you get that done? But I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what's going on. I'm not going to tell you, and you know, no one. You can try and guess in the comments down below if you want, but I'm not going to tell you until it comes out. But there we go. So let's get into today's DRFC Daily Reports. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now, guys, let's get into our first story, talking about why Doncaster Rovers, according to a free press report, is the right fit for John-Jules at this time. So, our first story today, as I've just said, comes from the Free Press, as is the other story, and this is about why Donny Rovers is the right club for Arsenal loanee Tyreece John-Jules. Now, the former Arsenal winger turned pundit Adrian Clarke believes Donny Rovers is the ideal club for John-Jules to continue his development. Speaking after the on-loan Gunners striker grabbed his first goal for Rovers in the 3-1 win at Charlton, Clarke tipped John-Jules to score plenty this season. Now, Clarke told the Totally Football League Show podcast, he's a very talented boy and I think he's right at the club. He's at the right club. They're a pretty vibrant team. They're attack-minded, Doncaster. And there's a very good unit behind them in Ben Whiteman and Magic Gomez, and ahead of them Taylor Richards, who is also on loan. He's got good footballers around to supply the ammunition, and I could see John-Jules kicking on from that performance at the Valley and getting quite a few goals for Donny over the next few months. What a goal it was from him too, a real bit of twinkle toes inside the box and a great little finish and a great way to get off the mark in Donny colours. Having garnered plenty of praise as his parent club, John-Jules must make an impact during his loan with Rovers, according to Adrian Clarke, who went on to say, this is a big loan for Tyreece. He's been involved in the first team during pre-season and scored goals actually. He looks as if he can handle himself. He went away to Lincoln last season and scored 1 in 7 appearances, so he did okay, but nothing major, and then he got injured. This is a big opportunity with Doncaster to really make a big impression. He's still only 19, so there is time on his side. So, big story there. All of them, well, most of the stories, quotes from Adrian Clarke, the former winger turned pundit, on the Totally Football League podcast. And, you know, I have to agree with Adrian Clarke. I think that this is a big season for Tyreece John-Jules, and we've said it in the past. You know, me and you have said it in the past in the comment sections down below, and I've told you guys in the videos. I think Tyreece John-Jules will definitely be a star striker this season. I know Fajiri's not getting the game time at the minute, but it's hard to get ahead of Tyreece John-Jules at the minute, and we don't want to put pressure on the young lad. He is 19, he's still got a long way to go. But, you know, I've had Arsenal fans messaging me, and I've had an Arsenal fan message me in the comment section of an AFTV video I was watching. Someone said to me, you've got a really good baller in Tyreece John-Jules, you know, he's a very good baller. And I was impressed to hear about that. And to be fair, it's a bit of a pattern really, isn't it? All our signings, or pretty much all our signings, have got a positive reaction from outside fan bases. We've had John-Jules getting, praised by Arsenal fans. We've had Tulloch getting praised by West Brom fans. We've had Ed Williams getting praised by Kidderminster fans. We've had Taylor Richards getting praised by Brighton fans. I'm sure there's some, Man City fans that remember him from the youth days at Man City that are quoting good things about him as well. So I think that we've got some brilliant signings for the first team out of the Premier League loan system and, outside of the Premier League loan system. And, I think the big thing with Tyreece John-Jules is once he gets one, that's it. The confidence is there to go and grab a bagful. And especially against Bristol Rovers this weekend, who, let's be perfectly honest, Bristol Rovers aren't going to be the biggest threat this season. So, even though they've got good players, I've got no doubt that Bristol Rovers have got good players, I think we can completely turn them over if we play that attacking-minded football. I think for Bristol Rovers, the big thing that I think they should do, if Sam Nicholson is fit, is to play with more attacking wing-backs, because it looks like they are going to be playing a 3-at-the-back formation, like a 3-4-2-1, I guess, probably. So, I mean, that's usually the kind of formation they've been playing under Ben Garner. So, I would replace the two defensive wing-backs if I were Bristol Rovers with the attacking full-backs. So I would have Nicholson on one side, and then I'd have the one on the other side. So I think that if I were Bristol, I'd go with that, because you need to attack an attack-minded team, but be prepared to defend well. And I think on the performance against in the 2-0 defeat to Ipswich last weekend, I think we've got the attackers necessary to counter-attack against the 3 at the back, and we can play about with the 3 at the back. We can toy with them a little bit. So I think the Bristol Rovers game could be very exciting for John-Jules. There's real potential with this game that he could score a hat-trick if he just focused on his gameplay. And looking at that report, I see Tyreece John-Jules as a big future star on the rise in English football. And it's great that we get to be a part of that development. And, we've picked up fantastic players in the past. Obviously, Ben Whiteman from Sheffield United, first on loan, then permanent. Tom Anderson on loan from Burnley, then permanent. Joe Wright, free from Huddersfield. Bursic on loan from Stoke this season's been fantastic so far. Dieng last season in goal on loan from QPR. He was brilliant. So, Bursic's got some big shoes to fill, and he's filling it at the minute. And, we've got a really good squad together, and Tyreece John-Jules is a part of that squad this season. So, I don't think he'll sign permanently for us, but if he does, that'll be a humongous steal. And to be fair, I'm not ruling it out completely, because if we keep getting promoted, we could be at a stage where we could sign him permanently, especially with, Eddie Nketiah getting a good goal to seal the win last night against Leicester in the Carabao Cup. So you've got Nketiah that's playing behind Lacazette and Aubameyang. So you've got a good striking format there. If Arsenal bring in another striker, maybe a European guy, that could push the likes of Bolarogan, I think that's how it's pronounced, Bolarogan and John-Jules out the door, and then they'll keep Nketiah, Lacazette and Aubameyang and bring in another young teenage forward. So John-Jules could be out the door, and we would have first dibs on them because we gave him the loan experience. So, I'm not completely ruling out a transfer for John-Jules permanently in the future in a couple of years' time, especially even if Arsenal sign another young striker to go with Nketiah, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Martinelli, who can versatile as a winger and a striker. So, Arsenal could sign one teenage striker, and that could push Bolarogan and John-Jules out the door. So, and we will be first dibs on John-Jules because we signed him on a loan deal for a season. Lincoln would have dibs as well, but I think he's had more of an impact on Rovers so far, even this early on in the season, than he's had at Lincoln. No disrespect to Lincoln, because they're top of the table right now, and just behind Ipswich on a goal difference of 1. So, no disrespect to Lincoln, but I think he's done more for us than he has at Lincoln City, and I think Lincoln will be fine by now because they've got players that are playing good football at the minute. So, Lincoln wouldn't complain if they went to Doncaster first and say join him permanently. So, but Lincoln would be in the running as well because he has been on loan with Lincoln as well. So, I think John-Jules is definitely a player for the future, and I'm definitely keeping my eyes on him just in case we do potentially get him on a permanent transfer in a couple of years if Arsenal push him out the door. And they get another striker in to compete with Nketiah, Lacazette and Aubameyang. Moving into another young player on loan at us this season who's making quite the impact, but we haven't seen the best from him, according to Darren Moore. It is the Brighton loanee, Taylor Richards. So once again, according to the Free Press, you've not seen the half of it. Darren Moore insists there's plenty to come from the Brighton loanee at Doncaster Rovers. Darren Moore saying that Donny Rovers have only seen the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the talent of Taylor Richards. The Brighton and Hove Albion loanee has made a strong start to life at the Keepmoat with a string of impressive performances. But Darren Moore, the manager of Donny Rovers, insists there is plenty more to come from the midfielder. Now, he quotes to the Free Press, with Taylor, you've not seen nowhere near what we believe he can do, and what he's doing is working towards that. He then continued on to say, only time will tell for him. Even in these early stages, as much as the signs are promising, certainly with me as a manager, there is a lot more to come from him, and that will be with time. It won't be an overnight thing. He needs the games, the training, and the volume, and to have that mental stimulation to bring forth that undoubted talent we know he's got in him. At the moment, he's enjoying his football. He's overcoming hurdles of trying to perform consistently, trying to get a physical base of fitness, trying to get match fitness, all the things going hand in hand with working towards getting the game towards the level we want and wants him to be. He'll say it's been a good start for him, but he's probably nowhere near where he wants to be. He's another youngster that is in the football circuit that wants to have first team football. He's just reached the age where he wants to go out and play and showcase his talents on the front line, and we can provide him with that. Now, there have been questions in the past about the work rate of Taylor Richards, but he's answered those empathetically so far in his Rovers career with all action performances. Moore says the youngster will learn plenty during his loan, both on and off the pitch, to ensure he stays on the right path. So he continued in the Free Press comments to say he's been knuckling down and working hard. There's a lot of elements to his game in terms of focus and dedication off the field, eating the right things, getting the right rest, all the things which are new to young players moving away from their natural environment that blossom to be a top elite sportsman. So there we go, big story again and again. Like the Tyreece John-Jules story, it is very, very positive. There's a lot of positivity around the club at the minute, a lot of positivity, and you know, I've said this in the past, the board are the best board we could wish for at the minute. John Ryan gave us the success and the tools needed to continue that legacy when he stepped down as chairman a few years ago. And we've got a board that once again listens to the fans, doesn't sell any rubbish, and you know, it makes the fans part of the club, not single them out and not, you know, push them out the door. It makes fans part of the club. And when you've got so much positivity, the best thing is more positivity around the club. And the story with John-Jules about being the right club according to Adrian Clark, and now this story with Taylor Richards, we haven't seen the best of him, even though he is performing like one of our best midfielders in a few years, along the same lines of the people like Whiteman and Coppinger. He's been performing like a 5-year pro for us so far, and you know, Magic Gomez won players man of the, well, I think it's fans man of the match, sorry, 2 matches in a row, but Taylor Richards was definitely up there in my opinion to be man of the match as well, on definitely the Charlton game, but pretty much the MK Dons game potentially as well. I think that Taylor Richards definitely is in the running to be a star for Donny Rovers. And I think I saw that report months ago that maybe we could get him on a permanent deal. Maybe he could be the next Cameron John story where we get him on a permanent deal, maybe a 2-year contract. Hell, even a 3-year contract. We're not even ruling that out at the minute. We've got the right... You know, this is such a positive move for the club and such a positive story surrounding the club. All these positive stories surrounding the club over the last few weeks. And the results say the same thing. It's all been positive. And, you know, we've got the right board in place. We've got a manager who's a former player and knows the club with Premier League and Championship experience in the past. We've got a good manager in. We've got great players that we can just keep adding to. As long as we get the promotions to say that, we could be a dangerous side. I've got no doubt we could be the next fairy tale story if we just get the promotions that will, you know, reward us with the hard work that Rovers have put in over the last few years. So, you know, I definitely think that this club's going in the right direction. I think stories like this just bring it all out again. And Taylor Richards, again, he's one of those young players that I'm really looking forward to seeing on Saturday, like Tyreece John-Jules, like all the other young players. If Reece James goes on the bench to, you know, rest that little knock at the end of the Charlton game, I won't say a knock, but I'd say it's like a a little thing just fatigue-wise because he hadn't had a full pre-season compared to other players. So, you know, maybe Danny Amos starts. Again, that's a nice young talent from the academy. You know, good academy talent. Tulloch's out for a couple of weeks, so Lakilo comes in, another Premier League youngster. And, you know, like I said, there's a real positivity surrounding the club. And the positivity gets better when I get the new away kit. But no, honestly, just the positivity around the club's massive at the minute. And this story about Taylor Richards is fantastic. I do think they're right, though. I think Darren Moore's right. We haven't seen the best of him yet. So, you know, we've seen some fantastic stuff from Taylor Richards so far, but I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think we've got a lot more to see from him. So, you know, the fact that he's so good now, and there's still plenty more to see from him, shows me that he is an exciting prospect. And I think once Coppinger retires or leaves Donny Rovers as a player at the end of this season, I definitely think Taylor Richards, if we get him on a permanent deal, that's it. That's the long-term replacement for Coppinger. That's our long-term replacement for Coppinger, Taylor Richards. Just depends if Brighton are willing to let him go, because I think if Brighton do get relegated from the Premier League, they won't let him go because they'll need extra players from their academy to help them get back up to the Premier League at the first time of asking. It's like Adam Idah. You know, we were interested in loaning him in January when we were talking about Devante Cole for Jerry Okunabiri. We were talking about loaning in potentially either Adam Idah from Norwich, or I think another candidate was Aaron Connolly, again from Brighton. But Connolly was proving himself in the Premier League, so he was out the question. Adam Idah scored a hat-trick against Preston, I think it was, in one of the cup competitions. You know, that pretty much cancelled that loan out. We ended up getting Okunabiri from Shrewsbury and Devante Cole from Wigan. Devante Cole didn't really work out. Okunabiri needs to settle in for a full season. He hasn't really had the game time so far this season, but that's because you can't get ahead of John-Jules at the minute. So, you know, we've definitely got a squad that's challenging, and to be fair, with the signings we've made this summer, especially, you know, this late on in the transfer market, and we're still looking at signings now, this summer window's been good because we've got competition for the bench, and we've got that bench fighting for a first team place. So the permanent players like Okunabiri are struggling to get, you know, even though he's got the number 9 shirt, he's struggling to be a first teamer because you've got loanees like John-Jules that are making the bench try and work as hard on the pitch to get into the starting lineup. So, you know, and to be fair, I think I said in the Charlton game I preferred Okunabiri in the first half and then John-Jules in the second half. But after seeing John-Jules perform in both halves, I would keep John-Jules on. I think that's a little bit of an early spoiler for my predicted lineup for the Bristol Rovers game. No, I said scoreline then. Bristol Rovers game lineup, predicted lineup. I think that's a bit of a spoiler there. But yeah, I think John-Jules will probably start on this Saturday. I think Richards will start as well. I think we're pretty much going to have an unchanged team apart from Lakilo starting, obviously, because Tulloch's injured and, you know, James on the bench for Amos, in my opinion. But I'll share my final lineup on tomorrow, on Friday. But thank you very much, guys, for watching this episode of the DRFC Daily Reports, your daily show for all things Donny Rovers. Make sure you like the video if you loved it, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, subscribe to the channel for more Donny Rovers content. We're getting closer and closer to the 300 sub mark. This early on, we've only been going for a couple of months and we're already at, you know, nearly 300 subs, which is unbelievable. But thank you very much, guys. I am the CHALL. Please like, comment, subscribe. And for now, guys, have a nice day.